Welcome back, everybody, to WCS America Premier League Group F action. As today, it seems like it almost flown by, Nate. Only 2 hours and 15 minutes in, and we are getting ready to hop into our final series of the day. And if how Seed has played early today is a telling about our next series, then we could be done very early today.
This is closing in on one of the shorter broadcasts that we've had here at WCS America for sure. But Scarlett, definitely. Do you think Scarlett's the kind of player that could play as aggressively as Seed? I typically don't expect that type of style from her, especially in this matchup. But you know, what are the odds?
I think that this series for Scarlett, there's only one way to look at it, and that's just scout, scout, scout. Like Scarlett, we know that if she knows what is coming, she's going to have the mechanics to deal with it in time. She has the game knowledge to understand which units she needs and which phase in the game. But she has to be aware of what is going on. That's really what this ZvP, with these two styles and the skills of these two players, that's what this entire series boils down to. Scarlett needs to identify what Seed is going for, and I feel as long as Scarlett doesn't die against anything crazy of 2 bases, or just doesn't get caught out of position, doesn't get punished for her greed, I think Seed's going to be fine. I think the longer that this game goes on, the better it will be for Scarlett.
I agree. Seed has made a lot of crazy plays, especially if you guys saw that series against Tudming early on. Lots of early aggression, lots of harassment at the very beginning of the game.
Jason the Juggernaut.
Jason the Juggernaut becoming an invincible immortal god and killing 38 roaches in his debut.
Like, what kind of like, we didn't even really go over that build too much, but we have seen so many variations already of the good old immortal sentry lane, but like one, just like 11 sentries and 1 immortal. Like, I really feel that this was just Seed on one summertime. He's like Leather. He's like, man, I feel like all the Protoss builds have been pretty much invented. There's a 2 immortal, there's a 3 immortal, there's just a gateway push. What if I just make 1 immortal? It's like, yeah, I'm so creative.
So you know what? No one's ever seen this build before.
Like hashtag, that's my build. Hashtag Seed build, 11 sentry, 1 immortal, move out. And also, like on Catalina, it's not really one of the maps that I would say, you know, screams for it. I just got invited to a game. I was like, all right, let's go ahead and hop into it. And I see Zealot Hockey. Is that a new game?
Is that how we decide things now?
Yeah, it sounds amazing. Like Star Strikers is fun, and I haven't tried Zealot Hockey yet, but I know what I'm doing tonight.
We're in the final match of the night, guys, and we've decided that both players will have to play each other in a best-of-5 of Nexus Wars to determine who will go to Premier League round of 16. Yeah, I don't know, man. I'd actually have a chance if WCS was based on Nexus Wars.
In Warcraft 3, there was this UMS called like X Hero X or something like that, which was like a little bit similar to the Nexus Wars. You had this big castle in the middle, and then you just like, you buy all these ridiculous items on your hero, and you just slay minions for days. Like, I had so much fun playing that, or Siege, X Hero Siege or something. I don't know. I'm sure there is someone watching out there who was an avid Warcraft 3 custom game player, and that you remember the custom mod that I was talking about. That mod was so fun. I burned way too many hours on that silly mod. It's like WC3O matches coming up. My team is like, Roddy, you've been practicing? I was like, yeah. X Hero X. Like, just playing UMS all day. That was about the time that Dota 1 got introduced. That's how long ago it is. Just making sure that the players are ready. Scarlett is currently teal. She has to be red. And then we can start our final series of the day. Of course, the really important one when it comes to WCS America. Everybody wants to see Scarlett make it to the round of 16 once. But Seed, he wants nothing more than make it to the round of 16 as well. This is incredibly important. Of course, Scarlett has quite a few WCS points as well. I would actually like to know how many WCS points both players currently have. I know for Seed, it is, I don't want to be mean, but borderline impossible to make it to BlizzCon. Right,
yeah,
like even if he wins this season,
I'm trying to think of, like, you basically have to.
He has to win Detroit, IEM, and WCS Season 3 back to back to back.
Yeah, first place.
And then win DreamHack Moscow too, and then he's like, yeah, sup BlizzCon.
Is it even physically possible to get to all of those tournaments?
I think it is physically possible, but I think also that you're going to be.
That would break first, your mind or your body.
Yeah, you're going to be more tired than Letot was after rooming with James the Translator. Apparently he snores, and Todd let us know many times. Either way, Scarlett currently is sitting on 1300 WCS points, ranked 32, so he's a little off, but that's because he hasn't had any good runs in WCS yet. One semi-final, one final appearance in WCS America, and we all know that he has the skill to go that far, and everything can be different. And of course, Scarlett is going to be at the Battlegrounds in Detroit as well, so she's able to collect WCS points there. So if you want to see Scarlett make it to BlizzCon, don't give up your hopes yet. It is still very possible, but this would be a big leap.
Yeah, very important for her to make it out of this group and into the round of 16, and I'm sure many of you watching would love that as well, as many of you who tweeted with the hashtag WCS. There's a lot of Scarlett fans, apparently.
Yeah.
For some strange reason, people seem to like the Canadian Zerg.
Yeah, who could have known? I always thought he was flying under the radar a little bit, and that he didn't really have that many fans yet.
I was like, oh, we're casting Scarlett today? That's an unknown Zerg player, right? Like, no one's probably going to pick her in the fantasy league.
Was it Canada or America where she's from? Like, it's all the same. Of course,
those are fighting words where I'm from.
I know, I'm kidding. Over here on the right bottom side of the map, we do have our exciting Protoss player, Dignitas Seed, who is doing something that he hasn't done yet before today, Nate. And now all the Canadians are already, oh no, it's a 9 pylon, 13 forge, and this means that he wants to cannon rush our beloved Aces Scarlett, who's of course our Canadian Zerg player on the left bottom side of Nimbus. And C is going hatch first, and Nate...
Oh, this probe ain't loyal. He's going right up. Oh, man.
When a Protoss forge opening wants you, Nate, what do you do?
Well, let's just say Overlord can't help you.
Oh my god, and he's cannoning in a way...
No, 3 pylons don't... Well, I guess
he's cannoning in a way that he can cannon both bases at the same time.
That's actually disgusting.
This is actually gross. Wiedemans out there is like...
Wiedemans is like...
Why did I not do this yet?
This has been his pocket strategy.
Yeah.
He's like, he's uncovered the dark arts of Protoss cannon
Alright,
rushing.
Scarlett is going to scout. He's going to check up. Okay. What does this mean, Seed?
You can't get 3 drones on this cannon, so it has to finish now.
Oh, that's smart.
You can't cancel this photon cannon.
That's actually a really smart cannon. So
that's wrong! What? This probe, man, he just tased that drone to death.
Yeah.
Double probe harass. It's real.
So 2 cannons are going up. Scarlett, will she let her hatchery finish, or is it going to die? We already see another hatch going down on the low ground. Theoretically, Seed could cannon rush this, but what I would think he would do is get maybe like... No, I guess he don't want to make an overcommitment. I guess he's... Oh, see, that's the hatch finish, Nate.
Yeah, this is really nuts. I'm not sure what to make of all of this, to be honest.
No, me neither. And I'm just gonna try to make sense of it all. But the Nexus is still not up. So, now even if Scarlett ends up losing this hatchery is way quicker than the Nexus of Seed. And Seed doesn't have a gateway yet either. I don't think that Seed knows where he wants to go with this, other than killing this hatch. Okay.
Build more cannons? Yeah. That's what I would do. And then I'd probably lose, but... That pylon is actually going to get killed by the Overlord eventually. I mean, by the Overlord will give vision for the spine crawler to kill.
I was about to say, Nate, you've had some crazy dreams about Overlords in your days. Scarlett even able to manage some of the larvae of this base. The Queen...
I think this could have gone a lot worse for Scarlett.
I actually think if she would have gone all out, produced nothing but slow links, she would have actually been able to keep this hatchery alive. Because this cannon has so much surface area that it's going to pretty much immediately die. And then this cannon is not in range.
No.
She could have actually saved this hatchery. Which of course is always risky, but it would have been theoretically possible. Look at this probe. This probe is worried about it too. Let me taste. I said both the pylons will just be unpowered, and as soon as the pylons are unpowered, that is when Scarlett is just going to retake her natural.
Is he going to build? He's not going to build another pylon, is he? Over there? Just keep the cannons running?
No, he shouldn't. It would be a waste. And eventually, like this hatch, if Scarlett really wants to get this hatch, I think he might do it, but I don't like that he's going to do it. Let's put it like that.
Yeah.
Now this base is up and running for Scarlett already. Now Seed's natural.
He is building another... Oh, he canceled it. Okay.
I
started building a pylon.
So we're looking at a scenario, Nate, where there are 30 probes on the map for Dignitas Seed. There are 26 drones on the map for Scarlett. So, and this is 6 minutes and 30 seconds into the game. That is an okay-ish scenario. The cybernetics core is late. There is money for a Stargate. And with this situation, with the low economy of both players, I think a Stargate is the best choice. Seed agrees with me. He will warp in the Stargate. Because even if your Oracle doesn't do any damage, it will force out 2 Spore Crawlers. It's going to give you a lot of map vision. And then you also know what is going on. I think it makes a lot of sense to play Stargate from this position. It's something that EG's Huck does pretty often as well. And first I was always like, maybe you can follow it up with a gateway push, but it made so much more sense to actually play it a much more controlled version of Protoss with the Stargate, which is just a lot safer and a lot better.
Yeah, I agree. This is... I'm really interested to see how he follows this up, because he's going to do gateway pressure with the Stargate like he did against Tudming, you think?
He can do a little. He can do light gateway pressure.
Third Nexus already.
Yeah, but he can still do light gateway pressure of it as well. It's really important for Scarlett that she scouts this pretty much immediately. She wants to prevent, you know, a cannon and a pylon going up as well.
Yeah.
I don't
what
think
can she even do about this?
Nothing,
though?
I think.
No
I mean,
speed, no roach warren.
If she wants to do something about this, then she's putting herself all in, and we all know that Scarlett is not the type of Zerg that likes to put herself all in when she doesn't have to at all. So I don't think she's gonna try. She's just going to accept that Seed is gonna go, you know, do whatever he wants to do off the back of a very, very strong economy, and that's just the way it is, you know, as Tupac would say. That's just the way it is, and things will never be the same again. As Protoss plays is only a lot richer than they're supposed to be, but that's just the way it is, Nate.
It's just the way it is. This Oracle is going to come out. He's looking for something that he can get done here, of course. And, well, if you're a drone, probably unanimous one of the apex predators of all workers in StarCraft 2 is the Oracle.
So Hydralisk then is going down, and if I will see it, you know, he didn't get a Robo though, Nate. That's like, he actually got the Twilight instead of a Robo, which I would say I prefer the Robo, because if you sit on Colossus, you'll be fine. This Oracle is still doing some serious work, getting 4, maybe 5 drones. I think it was 4.
The second queen came up, so I think it was smart to back off.
Yeah.
Void Ray coming out as well, but you know what, Kev?
Yeah, Hydralisk then is already ready.
I do like this a lot, but the question is how fast is she going to try to attack? Because I don't think she can get both Groove Spines and the speed upgrade.
No, but she does have excellent crew spread as always.
Yeah, actually.
If I was Seed, I would use my Oracle for Envision and then use the Void Ray to push back a couple of these creep tumors.
He did use the Envision very nicely in his series against Tudming to clear out creep, and I actually think that's almost an understatement that you say it's important, man. It is crazy important.
It's crucial. Can't emphasize enough on how important it is. Are you happy now, Nate?
Yes. Satisfied. It is tantamount to his chances of victory to get rid of this creep.
Nate sounded like got really fired up over that.
I'm like, man, I'm
like,
just thinking,
sorry, Nate, I was just trying to provide information to people at home.
I just started thinking about me playing Protoss, and I'm like, I built a Void Ray, and it's like, Hydras are slow, and then there's creep spread there, and I'm like, oh my god, Hydras move fast on creep.
Yep. Now, Blink is halfway down. There is a Spire going down as well in the back of the main base for Scarlett. So she's going to show her Hydralisk, but she actually doesn't want to win the game with the Hydralisk. She wants to win with Mutalisk at least, you know, unless he goes really crazy and it's Hydra Corruptor. But then I don't know, Nate. Then I should leave my league and do my placement match again and be placed in plat. I'd be surprised.
Yeah.
18 drones.
Oh man, yeah, that's actually such a nice feeling when you just build enough drones to saturate a whole base as it finishes.
Yep.
You're like, whoop, instant 4th base. So just add water.
First Mutalisk are on the way for Scarlett already. She's going to show her Hydralisk. And see, this is about the moment you're like, if you're Seed, you're like, hey, this is too easy. You should have way more. You should
there
have
should be more than this.
Yep, you should have way more. Now Scarlett is going to go back to Hydralisk as he's afraid that maybe in a straight up fight she can't win it, and she will be forced to fight straight up. And of course Hydralisk will always do well on creep. This one lone Muda, well, I don't know what he's going to do.
He actually could, you know, maybe he's got great ambitions. I don't know what the Mothership Core is over there.
Second Muda doesn't get picked off, so that's nice. Mothership Core is not there. Void Ray will get picked up immediately. I think Seed is going to try to win with this Blink Stalker push, because I think he knows if he disengages, he's going to have to worry about 30 Mutalisk in no time, and he doesn't have enough time to get Phoenixes out, so he's pushing the issue very hard, but the new and reinforced Hydralisk for Scarlett should allow her to stabilize, right?
These force fields have been solid, though. Most of these Hydras have not been able to hit against these Stalkers, and the Spinecrawler did a reasonable job, but some Zerglings run in, and we've seen this before from Siege, just endless Stalker warp-ins, and eventually that Stalker ball gets so big there's nothing you can do, but Scarlett has a lot of economy behind this. However, pulling drones not something that you ever want to have to do in this matchup.
She doesn't really have to defend this base, in theory. She has another base. She doesn't have to fight off creep, but she's pulling the drones as well. More Zerglings are streaming in. The Blinks are pretty okay for Seed, but these Hydralisk are pushing out serious amount of damage. Maybe when +2 finishes up for Seed, it's going to be easier for him, but for now, he is dropping in supply rapidly, Nate.
Yeah, I mean, Hydralisks, when they're allowed to just hammer away at these gateway forces, as weak as Hydras might be hit point-wise, that damage output is so fast. And Scarlett's actually done a reasonable job so far of targeting down some of the more weak Stalkers.
Yeah, it is really close. Take a look at the units lost resource step. It's even, which is good for Scarlett in my opinion, because Scarlett has been mining more money. But now she did end up losing, I want to say a lot of drones, but Scarlett still has 71 drones left. Why not? She even starts +2 flyer attacks during all this. I think, I guess she just doesn't have any larva anymore. Is that the case? Yeah, she's spending all over the larva, so she might as well, I guess.
I guess if you're broke, go for the upgrades. These zealots are coming up and still just warping in endless just gateway units. It feels really weird to see like mass Stalker Zealot versus mass Hydralisk of a sorts, but I feel like Hydralisks win out in the long run if the blinks aren't perfect.
Yeah, but the blinks are good though. This is still Seed, Nate. He's picking up almost all the Hydralisks from Scarlett in this fight, and this was perhaps a fight that Scarlett shouldn't have taken. Now I think she will definitely lose his initial expand. That is now sort of the fourth base then, I guess, because when you abandon it, and she still has 3 left. But there are still a lot of Stalkers stepping on creep, but Seed also has to be so careful that he doesn't overextend himself, because Stalkers can die very quickly on creep. This is so tense. I really don't know. Like, it looks like Seed is winning, but then the numbers will tell us that Scarlett is winning. So, I don't know.
This is almost too intense to call.
Yeah, like this can truly still go either
Without
way.
force fields, like it's actually just head-on engagements that Seed's winning with his blinks.
Yep, but now with 8 more Hydralisk on the way, and now Seed is actually getting a second in the simulator, so he's thinking about transitioning. Seed has never even scouted this base, so he may think that he's in a much better position than he actually is, because this is still so close.
Yep, Scarlett steps forward once again. The Zealots have been cleaned up, but another pylon even getting queued up to help reinforce this.
On creep, I definitely don't think Scarlett is going to lose. Off creep, I can still see Seed make it work with his phenomenal blinks, and his blinks have been pretty phenomenal. Ends up losing a few Stalkers, but he also picked up a lot of these Hydras. The Hydras are only at 1-0. The Stalkers are at 2-0. It's still just back and forth, back and forth. For now, it looks like Seed's still down in numbers, but up in units. Oh, focus the plates.
Yeah, those plates, man. Plate MVP for Scarlett.
Yeah, but she only has 6 Hydralisks left. She just doesn't have life anymore. She needs to keep injecting. She has a little bit of money. In the main base, the Hydra start trading sort of okay-ish again. Is Seed like really breaking through the lines now?
I think Seed is slowly but surely making this work. It's just,
yeah,
it's so crazy. Like
he's
the next
making
wave
it
of
work
Hydras
with 4
is about to come out.
Stalkers.
The next wave of Hydras is out, and there's a lot of creep spread here, but he's got Blink still.
This is the longest Hydra Mutalisk, or the Hydra Stalker fight that I've ever seen. This pylon gets shut down. It would really help for Seed if that pylon was a lot closer. So now Seed is going to have to disengage again, and Scarlett is still hanging in there, still trying to squeeze out as...
What a nuts game, dude.
Yep, what a nuts game. And like Seed, if...
I haven't seen this before.
No, this has been a 5-minute fight of Hydralisk and Stalkers.
And it's not over yet, boys.
But on creep, like now I really feel that this is Scarlett's game. She has so many Hydralisks. Or maybe
there haven't even been force fields in this fight since the very beginning. How crazy this has been. It's just nuts. The Zerglings come up, taking out the few first hits from those Zealots. And, you know, honestly, I look at this and I'm like, there's too many Hydras for Scarlett to lose this fight, but Seed continues to trade.
Yeah, if Scarlett goes up this ramp, then Seed might still be able to do it again. But I think for now, guys, for now we are looking at a transition as the robotics facility is going down. So Scarlett has not lost yet on Nimbus, and you could even say that she is ahead now. Yes, she ended up losing one of her bases, and she's only left on 2 bases now.
That fourth was so important for Scarlett to stay alive in this game.
But imagine if she wouldn't have had this bait. If she didn't have
that base, if this game was over 5 minutes ago.
She'd be absolutely gone. She'd be dead. She's going into Mutalisk again already. Perhaps a tiny bit ambitious, because I feel the way that Seed is playing this, not just this game, but today, he has no ambitions of going up to 4 bases. So I think with all the Blink Stalkers, he will definitely be able to defend the only 3 bases that he's currently on. And the Mutalisk won't make the difference in the straight-up engagement. I think she even went up to... Oh, this was a late... I felt like it was morphing at a certain point. Am I crazy, Nate? But am I hallucinating, or was he going up to Hive at a certain point? And did she cancel it?
I'm actually not even sure.
I really thought I saw a Hive, but maybe it's just me.
I mean,
being
there's
crazy.
not even an infestation pit on the map, so maybe the craziness, we're just a little bit...
Okay, then it's just me, Nate.
It's okay, Kev. I got your back.
That's weird.
There's the infestation pit.
Yeah.
You just looked into the future a little bit.
No, I'm just crazy. I'm actually just like hallucinating StarCraft buildings now. I'm worried. I'm worried about the state of my mind. These Mulas will do a little bit of work, but there are Stalkers being wiped in. So for now, Seed will be able to usher these Mutalisks out. This is still a very scary army to fight without Colossus, though. Sweet mama. Does he even have force fields? And he has a couple, but like, how do you force field this? He's so wide open.
This is really scary. Actually, he's moved some probes out of that base. He's like, all right, let's saturate the base that lost some workers.
Okay, so now the Oracle, no, Warp Prism, I want to say, is going to strike back. Like, Seed is just buying time for Colossus, because if he has 2 Colossus, then Seed is going to murder this army of Scarlet. Absolutely demolish it. This Warp Prism won't do anything, but in a weird way, guys, I don't even mind it. Seed has plenty of minerals, and he's just throwing away minerals. Now we do see the hive on the way for the first time. Now it's actually a real hive. But like, I think it's okay, because like he loses 600 minerals, but he buys time for a Colossus.
Yeah.
Did he just cancel his Colossus? Seed.
He did.
Why?
He's building Phoenix now.
Why would you ever do that? There are like 50... Oh my god, that's bizarre. He thinks he's going to be able to defend this with just Blink Stalkers.
And there's Queens coming over now too, with so many Mutalisks to help bypass the force fields.
The force fields are really good though up to this point.
Well, now they're gone, so... I feel like Hydra's just shred this army.
Yeah.
Scarlett should be able to just almost move through here.
As he's making 16 more Hydralisks behind this as well. A couple of Zealots being wiped in. That's never a good sign. Photon Overcharge is doing some serious work. But Seed has lost the majority of his Stalkers. That cannon was pushing out a lot of damage as well. The Seed might just be able to hang in there, but why would you cancel that Colossus?
How is he supposed to survive the next fight? Phoenix are nice, but when there's 20 Hydras under your Mutalisks, I'm not sure they're going to be the difference makers.
And now he's like, hey, that unit with those big lasers.
I told you I didn't want you, but baby, come back.
Yeah, baby, come back. That's funny in so many ways, Nate. Now, I'm afraid that Seed just digged his own grave. I really kind of like the waste of minerals that Warp Prism investment was, because this fight with just a single Colossus looks so different already. This fight with 2 Colossus, I'm not sure if he would have got it, but maybe by the time that all these force fields would have expired. With 2 Colossus, I think he's going to murder all those Zerglings. He's going to murder all these Hydralisks. And the Muta count was not that high that the Stalkers wouldn't be able to protect the Colossus, right?
No, I agree. This is now everything's just gone from bad to worse, because you certainly can't afford to build Phoenix now, and that Mutalisk count has reached scary numbers. And
Scarlett is completely okay with this game dragging on for the next 6 minutes. Seed trying to get enough Phoenixes out on 3 bases, while Scarlett is taking her 4th base, her 5th base. Z is going to be more than fine. The Colossus, well, there's 1 Colossus out now. So Seed, you can't afford to lose that base. He won't lose it, right? He's not going to lose that base, right? Seed, blink forward.
Oh no,
he's gonna lose the Nexus
will fall. No more Photon Overcharge. That Colossus is exposed to Mutalisks immediately. Like laser-guided missiles right on top of it, and Scarlett takes the first game in our final series of the day.
Yep, another crazy game in WCS America Premier League round of 32. Scarlett ends up getting cannon rushed in the opening stage of the game, just let her hatchery die. Kind of took a snoot approach to it all. It's like, go ahead, cannon it. I'll just take a different base, and if you want to cannon that one, I can take a different one too. See, it was definitely close. It was a phenomenal back and forth fight between the Stalkers and the Hydralisks, where sometimes it looked like Scarlett had stabilized, then she went too far, she suddenly lost our Hydras. It's like, Seed is gonna do it. No, wait, yes, Seed is in the main base, but he only has 3 Stalkers and 2 Zealots left, and that's not enough to win the game against the Zerg that's pumping out units of 3 hatcheries. Just an awesome, very, very cool back and forth game where both players were spending every single penny they had. And in the end, Scarlett stabilized. And then I think it still could have been different if Seed lets that first Colossus finish up.
Yeah.
Colossus is pretty good when your opponent has like 24-ish Hydralisk.
I would say so. You know, you also made a really good point. The way that game started could have been different. Like, I know we kind of made, like the joke, oh, Wiedemann's Galsy, but there might have been some brilliance that cannon position, like the pylon positioning, that setup. I was expecting more for how prepared that position of each pylon seemed to be.
And I was expecting more, especially because of the fact that the Nexus was so late.
Yeah, that too.
Cannon rushes are awesome, of course, and like Siege still definitely got something out of it. So I'm not gonna say it wasn't worth it, but I would have loved to see that Nexus go down a little quicker. Like, he was taking a very safe approach. He wanted to make sure that he had a cannon at home as well. He was in the gateway and stuff like that. And Either way, it's good news for Scarlett. It's good news for our Zerg fans out there, and of course, you know, all fans in general. However, if you're a fan of Seed or a Dignitas Gaming fan, or especially if you're Seed yourself, you find yourself on the ropes now a little bit, Nate. He's gonna have to win 2 games in a row against Ace Scarlett, and I think that's going to be very difficult for him.
Very difficult is an understatement. 2 games now to win in a row. Is this the part where I say that I didn't think this series would be a 2-0, Roddy?
You can say it, or you can say like you still don't have the feeling that this series is gonna go to a 2-0.
Do you want me to say it because you really want Scarlett to win 2-0? So
No,
I
I don't care, Nate. You can say whatever you want. You
All
speak your heart. Let your heart speak.
All right. Well, my heart says Seed's probably going to get aggressive again this game.
All right.
So if it is a 2-0, it could be a very fast one. As Seed, this map was where he went for that. I don't want to say it was like an all-in because Toonwing kind of set himself up for, like, not to say that Toonwing set himself up for failure, but his build was a bit greedy for the light harass he faced.
If you have no third base, if you have no Twilight, and if you have no Robo Bay, and you make 11 sentries, you're putting yourself a little all in.
Yeah, but he did that on Catalina.
Oh, sorry, I thought this was Catalina.
No, no.
Oh, no, sorry. No, you're definitely right. On Overgrowth, it wasn't an all-in at all by Seed. As Overgrowth is indeed going to be our second map in what could potentially be our final series of the day. If you guys just joined us, welcome. Make sure to tweet about the broadcast that is currently going on. Let everybody know that perhaps your favorite Zerg player is about to qualify for WCS America round of 16, but he's not there yet. He's still going to need all the mental support he can possibly get. C is ready right now for her final game, perhaps, unless it goes into game 3. Making sure that Seed is still ready, and he is. We are going to fire things up. It's going to be played on Overgrowth. Could be the last game of the day, of course. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. Thanks for your support of WCS America Premier League 2014. It's been very fun reading all the feedback over the last few weeks. Especially so many Europeans as well, still staying up, hanging in there like champs. 2 a.m., 3 a.m. They don't care, Nate. School, work, university, doesn't matter. They're watching. They're loving it.
So I am. My brother had like a midnight wedding. Still got my phone open watching WCS. Just got to make sure I can see everything that's going on.
About to get married, but first, and then his woman is like, take a selfie. He's like, no, watch WCS.
It's like I do. It's like, hang on a second. Hang on. Heart splitting his Marines right now. It's like, okay, that was pretty sick.
Yes, I do. Yes, honey.
Well, that's
or like your favorite player loses and you're like, oh no, and everybody in church is like, no, I don't mean no that. All right, we can just go ahead and hop into the game on Overgrowth, as this could be our final game of the day. Would be the end of another phenomenal day of StarCraft 2. Of course, Nate and me will be back tomorrow at noon Hawaii time, 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern, and midnight European time for another day of broadcast action. And it is going to be played at 8 a.m. for all the Aussies out there. I got all time zones covered now, Nate.
There are time zones on lockdown. Just wait until daylight savings hits, and it's different around the world.
And it's going to be Group G tomorrow, of course, as G still comes after F. Ooh, Seed lags. Hopefully nothing too serious, but of course, whatever happens, we can always just replay the game. Let's just jump back to RIP. All right, I have a question. Oh, no!
He's back.
Baby's back. Alrighty. But yeah, tomorrow Group G. As G comes after F, and tomorrow is going to be a sick group, especially if you're a fan of Team Liquid. Are you ready for Liquid Stasia? And we're gonna do this all season long. Will Tasia finally win a WCS championship? Like,
I don't know.
We have to do that. We have to do that. He's in the same group as Liquid's Hero, and of course Complexity's Henderlisk as well. And last but not least, we have a Chinese Zerg, Jigua, who actually defeated Liquid Hero once in the round of 32. So tomorrow's a big group for us as well. We hope that you tune in. Yeah. Same time as today. Either way, Dignitas Seed, of course, the Protoss in the left bottom side of the map. Bam, Seed, Korean flag, representing black and yellow, because that's what Dignitas is. And over here on the right top side of the map, we have Ace's very own Scarlett, who's opening up safer this time, Nate.
Yeah, the pool first. I think a lot of Zerg players like to do this, especially against someone that opened up with a cannon rush in the last game. You know, sometimes you look at players and you'd say, it's like, okay, you know, he cannon rushed me in the last game, but he won't do it again. And then you realize that you're playing against, Wiedemans, playing against In Control is like, no, I'm just going to go double hatch first. And he's like, no, actually, I'm still going to cannon rush you.
Still getting a lot of nice tweets as well. Poker Joker 811 said, "Today's my 20th birthday and seeing Ace Scarlett make it through the group would be the best present I could get. Hashtag WCS." Well, first of all, congratulations to you. And I hope for you that you can get your best presents that you
I think a lot of people, I think this is like one of those times where everybody wants you to get what you want for your birthday.
Yeah.
It's like some people want ponies and you're like, well, I'm not really a fan of ponies, but I think everyone's going to agree they would like, at least a majority of people, at least that picked in fantasy, they want Scarlett to get out of this group.
Yep. Well, I picked hard actually, so I'm good. I'm good for today.
Yeah, I picked hard too. So now it's like
you don't mess with hard.
We already got what we wanted, so we're just like, oh yeah, you know, anybody can get out now.
I mean, put hard in a group with 2 Zergs and I know who I pick. 2 slow Zerglings make their way across the map. Scarlett, of course, is already going up to 3 head trees. This is mildly annoying for Seed. It's a little bit rustling, but hopefully his Jimmies will survive.
Yeah, I don't. It's too the way that he opened up. Like it's too early for his tech to have been revealed. So these Zerglings don't really see much other than what I would assume you would expect in this situation, unless he, instead of getting a mothership core, he went double Stargate.
But I think above all, he actually got a probe there, so that's not all that bad. Scarlett probably quite confident with that. So he's like, all right, didn't get cannon rush and got a probe. Today, 5 minutes 10 seconds into Overgrowth, we're a good 5 minutes and 10 seconds. I can live with that.
Amen.
Alright, so warp gate technology is on the way. We're keeping close on the simulators, a lot of gas being mined, so far it doesn't give us the idea that Seed wants to do something super crazy. But playing a passive game against Scarlett I think is very risky, because all the vocal complaints that Scarlett has ever had about this matchup, I don't think ever relied to like late game PvZ. She has always found a way to deal with scary armies as long as he gets a good economy, as long as he gets plenty of bases out. We know Scarlett late game Nate, you just don't mess with that. She's phenomenal in pretty much every single aspect of the game, but if there's one weakness, it often has been defending very strong 2-base attacks of Protoss players.
That's true, and I would not be surprised to see Seed try something like that, because look at the setup for this build, right? He's going up 3 gates, his +1 attack started really early again, and he's building sentries. The only thing he doesn't have are the 2 gases in the natural or a robo facility yet.
Yeah, I'm actually a little bit shocked that the robo's not done yet. I think last time it was a 6 minute 40-second robo, right? When it was the 11th Sentry and the and Jason the Juggernaut Immortal. Still no robo.
I mean, I feel like you don't even need to get the robo crazy fast when you're only going to go with 1 Immortal.
No, but 6 minutes and 40 seconds is not crazy fast.
That's true.
Like there are 5-minute Immortal builds out there, or 5-minute robotics facility
Never done
builds.
The gas first 450 Immortal build.
Yeah, and then only warp in Zealots.
I push with 1 Immortal, and
like
get surrounded by 8 Lings, and I complain on Battle.net forums.
I heard that the Immortal Sentry run is really good, so I made an Immortal,
so I made an Immortal and a Sentry.
3 Sentries being wiped in. Like, Seed gives us the idea that he wants to go up to 3 bases, but Seed, you're already down on 11 workers. This base is not like 7 minutes and 50 seconds is quick as a 3rd base if you drop the Stargate or a Robo or a Twilight before it. If you have none of those things, then this base is actually not all that quick. And he could have done it at the 6-minute mark, which is indeed a little extreme, but it's doable. So I'm actually a little bit worried for Dignitas' Seed.
Yeah, this Phoenix goes in. I don't think he...
Scarlett's producing a lot of workers, Nate. He's on 57 drones. That is, and like, there is no robotics facility, so if Seed goes crazy on the roach count, and he actually has 14 of them, Seed, his force fields are going to have to be on the money, and I'm not even sure how much his hallucinated Phoenix has exactly seen, but I have the feeling that he doesn't know that this is coming yet. And he doesn't have a cannon, he's transporting probes. This is really bad news for Seed.
Yeah, Scarlett's using this big space here, and look at this. Good force field so far, but there's an open spot on the right. Yeah, needs a couple more force fields. These roaches are like, okay, you don't want to play. I'm just gonna run into your base and start nom-nomming on probes.
Yep, and there goes the first photon overcharge, but it takes a long time for 1 photon overcharge to kill 6 roaches. I can guarantee you that. Photon cannon so far, the defense by Seed is phenomenal though, I must say. But he did end up losing quite a few workers already. Still, units are being transferred between both bases. So these roaches don't actually have to go anywhere as the probes are running straight into their death. And I think that Scarlett has almost got what she's been looking for already. She just needs to make sure that she won't die against the first Blink Stalker attack. And if that won't happen, Nate, with 80 drones, this is actually overdoing it, like 80 drones on 3 bases. Scarlett, behave.
She's going full Tudming.
Yeah.
Except You know,
With
this
no-
time,
less
of course,
bases.
not being attacked early on.
Oh yeah, and not actually die.
It's like, oh man, it's like there's like that diehard Toonming fan out there who's like, Toonming would have been on 5 bases by now. What are you talking about?
That is
Scarlett's
correct.
only on 4 at 10 minutes.
Alright, so he's producing nothing but roaches. I think it's a very smart decision because, of course, there are no immortals in the mix. And even though Blink Stalkers can trade very good against roaches, it's going to take a lot of force fields, it's going to take a lot of time. And the more time that Scarlett gets, the more Hydralisks he can get. And I wouldn't even be surprised if she gets a couple of Infestors, which is a very weird unit now. It could also just be for Swarm Walls, of course, so you guys can ignore what I say. But I actually think Infestors wouldn't be that bad because I have the feeling that Seed really wants to commit to a big 3-base attack. When I say that, he's actually making a robotics facility, which is probably a better choice. We'll see what this infestation pit is going to be used for.
Yeah, I mean, the Phoenix sees it.
Yeah,
The
very
Hive is
quick
on the
hive.
way.
That is.
I mean, I don't know if there's ever really a bad time to get a Hive, or at least if
If you have-
Hives are ever not useful.
True. Double Robo. Well, actually, it's
Well,
perfect. Alright, so
there you
Seed
go.
is going to sit back and try to get double Robo Colossus out. Because he's Scarlett, he's like, alright, you have no Spire, so if I can go double Robo Colossus or get a bunch of Immortals. It could also just be for quick Immortals, and that he's then trying to kill Hydralisk with Force Fields. Either way, the Hive can be fantastic for Scarlett because it will give her access to Vipers.
Yep.
That is pretty important.
Vipers are pretty good units against Colossi, to say the least. Oh, is he gonna force field those drones from the low ground?
Yeah, but
I
mean, looking
that
at
could have
Scarlett-
been really cool.
This is already good though for, oh my god, like look at the supply, 200 against 130. See,
Look
if
at this
you-
surround that Scarlett's preparing. I mean, thankfully the mothership core is here. And the Seed can you can press the escape button.
Recall. He's playing with my heart now. Don't funk with my heart, Seed. We want to see a real game and the final game of the day. Scarlett is still maxed out. She can actually just test the waters. But there are a lot of force... Well, yeah, actually, there are a lot of force fields for Seed. So Scarlett wants to be very careful about how she wants to engage this army. A couple of roaches are separated from the rest of the pack. Wolf pack.
I mean, I feel like this is the classic scenario where whenever Scarlett decides to attack, Seed's just going to force field 1/2 off. So I'm still a little bit worried.
If I was Seed, I would really start up 2 Immortals. I guess he's kind of broke.
Ah! Okay, there's the first set of force fields. Now the next set just locked them in.
It's like we're a bunch of girls watching a horror movie.
Sometimes that's what it feels like when you're watching force fields.
This time warp is going down so far the engagement, and the trade still looks okay-ish for Scarlett. Of course he's losing a lot of roaches and hydras, but he's resetting the sentry count completely. Is he killing a lot of stalkers though, Nate?
You know, I mean, she's remaxing on a lot of roaches, which I'm also not necessarily opposed to. She's very low on gas, however, so building any more Hydralisks is going to be a little bit complicated.
I would really like to see...
She does have Vipers, by the way, out
Yeah.
getting energy.
Yeah, and even if it was Immortals, like Vipers are still very good against Immortal heavy armies as well. Like, Seed could really use the Templar Archives, but of course there's no way that he has gas for that when he's pumping out double
Scarlett's
Robo
broke
Colossus.
on gas, and she actually kills one of her own extractors with the Vipers in her natural.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she killed one of her extractors.
It's okay. Hashtag worth it. That Viper is like the dog with the puppy eyes now. It's like,
like,
alright Scarlett, something went wrong. Please don't be mad at me. Know that I love you very much.
It's like I live alone, you know, I have a dog, I will go home and there's a giant mess, and I look at the dog, and the dog's like, well, it wasn't me, man.
Viper is like, I promise I'm going to abduct a lot of Colossus and Immortals for the rest of my life. Don't send me back.
That Viper's going to play fetch with some Colossi.
I mean, this is extremely scary. 125 supply of Zerg. The upgrades are in favor of... Ooh, that's a good pickup for Seed. Like, if he can somehow survive this fight without losing his Colossus, he is back in this bad boy. He gets another Viper, and he gets the final Viper.
Oh, the second abduct gets it. Both Colossi dead.
It's so important that he gets...
That's exactly what Scarlett needed. Now this army's not going to be able to win against Roach Hydra straight up like this.
Well, I mean, there is a cannon, there is a photon overcharge, and 2 Colossus are coming in, but you're right, though. It's going to be so much more difficult, but here is that game saver, perhaps. So far, I feel that Seed is not taking deadly amounts of damage yet, but actually lost a lot of probes. Almost forgot about that. He's been losing crazy amount of probes. I think you're right, Nate. I think Scarlett is running all over Seed over here.
Scarlett wants to go on to the round of 16 for the first time in WCS America this year. Colossus defending as best as it can in the natural of Seed. Those Hydralisks do get toasted, the Roaches as well, but that third base was wiped clean.
Yep.
And that gold base is still mining it, just chugging away for Scarlett.
29 workers have gone down
More
for Seed
Vipers
throughout this game, and He can't even saturate his bases. Like, there's still a small chance that Seed wins if Scarlett gives him time. But look at Scarlett, her bank. Her bank is insane. This time there is a Templar Archive. There is a single High Templar.
There's already Hydralisks ready to catch this Warp Prism that's going into the main base too. Just killed that. So Seed tried to go for some counter harass, was not able to do so.
Seed is broke as a joke. The former GSL Kodas champion in his first attempt of making it far in WCS America round of 32. It seems like it's not going to work out for him, as Scarlett, our Canadian Zerg player, he had a great 2013 WCS. 2014 was more difficult. He drops Blinding Clouds this time. Feedback did land on one of the High Templars. One of the other High Templars dies immediately. The Archon is going to die. But even if Seed defends here, he's going to lose a lot of units once more, Nate.
Yep. The only thing I feel like Scarlett really wants, of course, are Abducts on the Colossi, but the army is so pitifully small it doesn't even matter. There's one Colossus dead. This army's in a pretty good choke point for Seed, but he just doesn't have anything to work with.
And he's gonna lose the only base that had a lot of resources left as well. The 19-minute mark, you don't want to rely just on your natural anymore. Scarlett is going to retreat for now. So he is satisfied with the damage that he has done. So he has been spending a crazy amount of gas throughout this entire game. This one Zealot over here, he's like, so guys, how's it going on the other side of the map? Can't confirm, still no extractor. Like, Zealot, step up your game.
It's not what we pay you for. You gotta kill stuff. You gotta scout.
It's like, alright, alright. Damn it, I knew that was a bad idea. Doesn't even get the drone.
Not even one drone.
Seed knows it. GG, and Scarlett will qualify for the round of 16 of Premier League WCS America Season 3. That's the first time this season, and that is great in so many ways for Scarlett. And of course, keeps the BlizzCon dream alive, Nate. She's currently hovering around the 30th spot in the rankings, but one good run in a tournament like this, and we know that she's going to Battlegrounds Detroit as well, and everything is still possible.
There's a lot of people that are pretty excited over that. I know I'm excited. Scarlett played a phenomenal series against Seed, holding off against, you know, whatever form of early aggression he was able to bring. And in that last game, we kind of saw it go to the distance, up to that hive tech play. That great pressure at the third base of Seed, I think, was also really nice when she was able to force a couple of those roaches into the natural and pick off probes, kick off a couple of stalkers. Yeah, really good play.
I don't really like this this opening by Seed, and I really don't want to be too critical. It's such a harsh day for him already. It was important that he would go far in this tournament, but when you open up with like that, 3 gateway do any aggression, so Scarlett is able to drone up like crazy. She's gonna reach that 58 threshold so much quicker than he is, and then Scarlett can just make so many roaches, and it doesn't even set her back that much. Well, if you don't have a robotics facility at home, it is very, very difficult to defend. Now, maybe if the hallucinated Phoenix scouts the army marching across the map, and he gets a little closer to the ramp and he drops 4 suits a lot quicker, then it becomes a lot easier for Seed to defend. But if you have to defend between both bases rather than on the ramp, it is really difficult, and it doesn't really matter how many sentries you have, because even when you zone out the roaches, it still takes a long time before the roaches actually die. And photon overcharge, you know, one base is not going to protect the other and vice versa. So it's just very, very tricky to defend like this. Maybe if Seed has units in better positions, we're looking at a different game. However, he didn't think he was going to have to deal with aggression in that phase. It's a sad day for Seed. I'm definitely a little bit sad for him, as he's a Protoss player that I do enjoy watching, but it wasn't meant to be for him. But it is good news for all our Zerg fans and all our Scarlett fans out there.
Yeah, great day of games so far here at WCS America Premier League Group F, as we have just 2 groups remaining, of course. Today's matches were pretty good, I'd say, all around. Definitely am very impressed by Hart's play, as he was able to make it out first from this group. Took out Seed to kick things off. We saw Tudming drop against Scarlett, and there's a lot of craziness back and forth.
Yep, this was the bracket of today. Like you said, Hart kicked things off today, winning over Seed, and Scarlett was able to get her revenge on Tudming, as of course Tudming eliminated her from WCS America Premier League Season 1 in 2014, and in Season 2 Scarlett didn't even qualify for Premier League. However, C is back, and she's looking good, as he's going to make it to the round of 16 via the lower bracket though, as Hart's TVZ is just on a whole nother level. I don't think there is a single Zerg in WCS America that's going to defeat Hart. Like, the only people that are going to stop Hart are maybe a Protoss or another Terran, maybe Bomber once more, maybe Pig Baby. If you take a look at all the groups of WCS America round of 32, and of course we're going to focus for now on Group G and H, as those are the only 2 groups that are still coming up tomorrow. Get out your, start wearing that Team Liquid jersey, that Team Liquid windbreaker.
Wearing my Team Liquid jersey. I got the Team Liquid shirt and the jacket, man. I almost want to come in wearing them to work tomorrow because there's going to be so much Team Liquid.
Hashtag cast the bias.
Yeah, you know it.
It's going to be fun. Of course, Tasia, Heroes, Jigua, and Henderlisk. And last but not least, the final day, we're going to have our very own bomber as well. Mage is going to be playing in that group. Puck as well, and one more player that Slam. Yeah, actually, I know very, very little about Slam. Slam and Shana were the two players that I knew least about coming into this season. Unfortunately, Shana has not made it to the round of 16, but he still gave us a couple of very funny games when he played in Premier League.
Yeah.
Overall, it's been another great day, and our round of 16 is just starting to look better and better. I couldn't really be any happier with the results myself, even though it would have also been fine. Not today. I was going to be happy either way. It didn't truly matter. But I think for the tournament and for what I know gets the community excited, I think the two players advancing that we have is a very good thing.
Yeah, I think it's hard to be disappointed with today's results. Lots of great games, of course. I'm a bit of a Toonming fan. You know, maybe not all the players that I like to see, but unfortunately, I guess 3 players can't advance from a group. Who would have guessed? But some of you guys had some really good feedback, too, so I want to thank you once again for throwing your tweets out. Hashtagging WCS. Of course, make sure to follow on Twitter at ESL. You can follow at StarCraft. You can know. It's be like, hey, maybe I'm going to forget what time WCS starts tomorrow. Well, if you're following us on Twitter, we're going to remind you. We'll let you know right before the show starts when every series starts up. Just a great way to stay in touch with everything that's going on in the WCS universe.
Yep, it is excellent. Of course, you guys can follow Nate on Twitter as well, twitter.com/IntenniusTV. He tweets every single broadcast he's ever part of. And I must say, Nate, I've seen you at quite a few broadcasts lately. So
we do a lot of StarCraft here in America.
Every now and then. It seems to be a busy season. Of course, you know, want to take a look at the upcoming broadcast to make it easier for you if you say, like, no, I refuse to use Twitter or Facebook, but still show me a graphic somewhere. Well, we can show it here on the show as well. So you can take a look at our upcoming broadcast. Korea is first, as the action in GSL Code S will just continue. And tonight is apparently time for Group D. No, that's Tuesday.
Oh, it's tomorrow night, I think. Is my ability to tell time like that bad? It would be tomorrow night for us.
Okay. Alrighty, so Soki, Terminator Stats, and Byung, that's going to be the next GSL Code S broadcast. And our next broadcast is going to be tomorrow, of course, 3 p.m. Pacific. And I gave you guys all the other time zones already multiple times today. Tasia, Jigua, Hero, and Handlerlist. I must say that's a very cool looking graphic with the Korean flag on the left and the American stars and stripes. Gets me all excited. That's a good looking graphic.
Oh, look at that. We can even let you guys know when Group A for round of 32 of Europe is kicking off. That'll be on the 19th of August. And I'd say good group to start things off. I've always been a bit of a Stardust fanboy myself. Snoot as well. And Mini Razor's another cool player to keep my eye on.
Yeah, and even Patience, of course. I mean, you should like Patience. You were part of his big breakthrough.
I do like... He's actually been living in Germany for a while, I think, too.
Yeah, I know.
Like practicing a lot. He's been tearing up the EPS.
He's been losing to Sex Screen in multiple tournaments. So he's going to have to step up his PvZ. Either way, that is going to be happening all over. As you guys can see, there is plenty of StarCraft coming your way. For now, we just want to thank everybody for watching. I hope you enjoyed the games today. And like we said many times, keep the tweets coming. Make your ESL fantasy team. It is fun. We're having fun with it. I'm proud of my team so far. I'm proud of Hard holding it down. And just 2 more broadcasts for the round of 32. So you don't want to miss tomorrow, and you don't want to miss Wednesday either. But that's it for now. Nate, I'm going to give you the final word of the day. Oh, wait. Actually, very important last thing, guys. TOT Satellite Tournament. If you live in USA or if you live in Canada, and you want to go to Red Bull Battlegrounds, but you're like, I'm not sure if I can afford it. Johan Letot Merlo, our very own near and dear Frenchie, is hosting a tournament together. You can find all the information on Team Liquid or reddit.com/r/StarCraft2. It's a satellite tournament. You can be, if you're Diamond League or higher, you can participate in the tournament. And if you make it, you can go all the way to Detroit. Or isn't Master League and higher? I think it's Diamond and higher.
I think it's Masters and higher. I'm not sure.
Damn, Todd, such an elitist. Alright, so Master League or higher, if you live in USA or Canada, take a look at the thread and you might want to sign up for TOT Satellite Tournament. That's going to be starting in like 22 minutes, so I'm not even sure if you can still sign up. But if you can, go ahead and do it. You make Letot happy. And Nate and me will probably be casting a game or two from that tournament tonight as well. And I think the games will be broadcasted on my channel. This is the most shameless plug that I've ever done in my life. I'm going to get in trouble for this.
I'll plug it for you.
Do it.
Easy. You guys go to twitch.tv/Rotterdam08 to catch the action. It'll be awesome.
Yep, it's the TOTS tournament. I've been donating a little bit myself as well, making a regional StarCraft 2 player happy. I think that's awesome. So that is going to be happening tonight, and that is truly all the information that we want to give you guys. Thanks very much for watching. Nate, you have the final word.
Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you guys tomorrow for some more Team Liquid, some perfectly balanced racial distribution action at WCS America Premier League.